Okay, guys, so we have made it about halfway through chapter 10. And what I wanted to do today is I wanted to do a quick video to kind of review all of the different aspects of the clock to help you guys as we are moving forward into the second half of the chapter, because we're not going to see this again for a little bit. We've also have the mid-chapter checkpoint that is the next lesson technically. So this review is going to hopefully help you with the mid-chapter checkpoint. So the first thing that we want to go over is, as you can see here, I drew our clock. And then at the top, I put the time represented on this clock. So if you notice, I put 12:30. We're going to go over these important facts to try to help guide you guys along with the mid-chapter checkpoint. So for the first fact, what I put is how many minutes are there in 1 hour? Okay, so there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. Now, if you look up here at the clock, notice the small green, what they look like small tally marks here. If you were to count up all of those, including the longer black tally mark that represents 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, you'd count 60 total. So that represents the minutes on the clock. And then we have to ask ourselves, for number 2, how many hours are there in a day? So there are 24 hours in the day. So that means that we're gonna do 2 full rotations around during one day because there's only 12 hours represented. And you guys, once we get down to these facts a little bit down lower, you're gonna understand why we said that. So then the next thing that I have here is the small hand tells the hour. So I want you guys to take notice here. Which one's the small hand? I put it in red, and then notice I put the important fact in red as well. So here's the small hand, and that's located, it's pointing in between the 12 and the 1. We're gonna revisit why I said that in a second. Number 4, the big hand tells the minutes. So notice how the big hand or the long hand, whatever you want to refer to it as, it's coming all the way down and it's pointing here to the 6. Now that represents the minutes. So we have our small hand that represents the hours, and then the big hand or the long hand that represents the minutes. Now let's refer back to number 2 here. How many hours are there in one day? There are 24 hours in one day, but there are only 12 hours represented on the clock. So what does that mean? We have to do 2 full rotations, and we refer to those as AM and PM. AM refers to the hours from midnight. Think about New Year's Eve when your parents and guardians let you stay up maybe a little bit later, up till midnight. And then that runs all the way up to 11:59 a.m. Okay, so that's 1 full rotation. Then you have PM, which runs from 1 minute after 11:59 a.m., it becomes noon, or the afternoon. And that runs from noon all the way up to 11:59 p.m., which is 1 minute away from midnight. So again, we have AM and PM, which we went over in the first lesson. Number 7 here, I put, if the hour hand is in between 2 numbers, always say the one behind. This is where I see a lot of 3rd graders getting confused. If you look here at this, what is this? This is the hour hand. It's in between the 12 and the 1. All right, so what does that mean? You have to refer, when you're saying the hour, to the number behind. You don't jump forward to the 1. If you do that, you will get it incorrect. Now, again, if you're looking at the long hand here, remember, a lot of you guys have said in your discussion posts that you love jumping by 5. So this is the top of the hour, 0, and then you jump 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then finally 30. So this is 12:30. Now, some of you out there in the discussions have even said, well, Mr. White, if there's 60 minutes in an hour and the minute hand's halfway down, half of 60 is 30. Is there only one way to solve a math problem? Absolutely not. So great job using your different strategies there. My last little question here to end our review, 12:30. Now, I'm going to give you a situation, and then I want to see if you guys can guess whether it's AM or PM. If you were eating lunch at 12:30, would that be 12:30 AM or would that be 12:30 PM? And the answer is it would be 12:30 PM. Now, why do I say that? Think about it. If it was 12:30 AM, it would be a half hour past midnight. Are you waking up in the middle of the night to eat lunch? Of course not. 12:30 PM, it's just 30 minutes past noon. That's a pretty standard time for folks to eat lunch. So we listed 7 important facts and we broke down all the different aspects of the clock here. I'm hoping that this really helps you with your mid-chapter checkpoint. Please post in a discussion if you have any questions about the review, and I'll be happy to discuss them with you. Hope you guys are safe and healthy. Miss you guys. Peace out.